Good morning, Santa Clarita. Happy Friday! You are listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. This is SCVi and iLead School's Eye on the Valley. I am your host, Matt Watson, and it is an absolutely gorgeous Friday morning out there. It's going to be just like Randy Newman said, it's going to be another perfect day in the LA area today. Gosh, is it amazing out there. Anyways, let me introduce the show, because, welcome in. Our show, Eye on the Valley, is brought to you, as I said, by SCVi and iLead Schools. We are a network of free public charter schools with campuses in Castaic, Agua Dulce, Lancaster. We've got a fully accredited online school that you're about to hear all about. We've got a home study program. You know what? Visit us at iLeadschools.org for more information on every one of our 6 schools, regardless of what your child's academic needs are, whatever format or style of instruction they need. We've got something for your children. And like I said, all free. We are free public charter schools. You know, I heard someone say just yesterday that, oh yeah, I've driven by that school 100 times and just always wished that I could send my kids there, but we couldn't afford it. And I said, no. Remember, we're public charter schools. We are free. We are funded the same exact way as local district schools are. The biggest difference is we're not bound by district boundaries. We've got much bigger boundaries. You'll hear about that in just a little bit as well. So check us out at iLeadschools.org. No matter where you are, no matter what your kids need, we've got something for you. So, check us out at iLeadschools.org while you're listening to the show, because we do keep our eye on education in Santa Clarita and across the nation, but we also keep our eye on the Valley as well, bringing you everything that you need to know about what's what here in the Valley. And we also take a little time to tickle your funny bone, right? Because that's what it's there for. We're going to goof, we're going to giggle a little bit, we're going to have a good time. We're going to learn a lot about an amazing school this morning. We're also going to hear a lot about what's going on in our city in the next couple of weeks, couple of months, maybe even into the next year. So we've got no time to mess around this morning. We've got another jam-packed show for you, filled with some pretty amazing guests. It is the holiday season, and the whole family's coming over this morning. In hour number 1, we've got one of the most versatile educators you'll ever meet, Jeanne McMiff-Hendzelik. Jeannie teaches at iLead Online. That's that fully accredited free public online charter school I was telling you about. And she works with our itty-bitties, with our youngest learners, as well as our high schoolers. And there's not a whole lot of educators that can do both effectively. And Jenny just absolutely crushes it out there with iLead Online. And they've got such an amazing, dynamic school. And then, following Jeannie, we're going to talk to Matt Zuchowicz. Matt's been on before, and this time he's bringing with him Brianna, Rosas, and they're coming in for this month's episode of College Corner. If you recall, College Corner is where we check in with our professional college counselors about what you and your kids should be doing to prepare for college, regardless of what age they are. And, we're going to talk to Matt and Brianna this month about dual enrollment and early college credit. So, did you know that your kids can double dip? It's one of the only times in life that you can double dip, but getting both high school and college credit for one class. You take one class, you get double credit, and potentially ending their high school career, going into their junior year in college. Boy, if that won't save you money, Mom and Dad. So, Matt and Brianna will give you some tips on how to start your kid on that pathway. And then as we head into hour number 2, we're going to reconnect with Jenny Shadle from the city of Santa Clarita. She is the city's arts and events administrator, helping put together all the amazing things our city puts on for us. There's always just so much fun happening in and around the city, and it's Jenny and her team that put it all together for us. And then, at the end of the show is when we usually bring on my big brother, Big T, and we do trivia and we goof around a little bit, but we may be a little touch and go today, because Big T reached out to me this morning. He's getting a little fussy lately. He's really proud of his segment, and it is honestly a lot of fun, and I do know people that tune in just for his segment, unfortunately. Mom, I'm looking at you. In fact, I do have it on good authority that Senator Scott Wilk, former state senator Scott Wilk, is a regular listener of Big T segment. So yeah, Big T, he's been getting a little wind in his jaws. He's been feeling himself lately, and he came to me and he said he wanted an increase. And so I told him I could give him a 30% raise, and he seemed happy with that for a couple of weeks until he realized that 30% of nothing was still nothing. And so today he's telling me that he might not have enough time, quote unquote, to show up for the show. So we will see how that goes. Producer Sarah, stay on your toes. I may need you to prepare something for us. So yeah, it's going to be fun and maybe a little bit chaotic, but hey, that's just there to remind us that we're still alive, right? So as I mentioned, let's get into it with our first guest, Jeanne McMiff-Hendzelik with iLead Online Free Public Charter School. Jeanne, it is a crime to think that we haven't had you on the show in over 4.5 years. Jeannie's been an educator for over 16 years now on both coasts, and she's worked with students in traditional classrooms, outdoor studios, and in online communities. Jeanne says that as a preschool teacher, she would go home with painted clothes and dirty feet, but working with older students, she often goes home with piles of Post-it notes full of ideas and notable memories. Jeanne has played a huge role in building iLead Online into the powerhouse online public charter school, one of the premier powerhouse online public charter schools in Southern California that is leading the way to provide choice for learners throughout the region. Jeanne, welcome to Eye on the Valley.
Thank you.
I can't believe it's been so long since we've had you on, Jeanne. So I'm so glad that you're back. So why don't you remind us, because it has been such a long time. Why don't you remind our listeners how you came to work for iLead Online? How did you find us?
I found iLead Online because I actually knew a parent that had a child that was one of my learners. And so that's when I first learned about iLead Online and how innovative and fun and creative it was. And I was busy doing my own thing and, like we said before, in-person programming, nature programming, progressive fun things. But then I became a mom and took a little bit of a break and got my feet on doing that. And then I was ready to get back in the world of education, and I was looking for something that was going to be innovative, honoring of children and learning, and flexible, and something fun and new for me to try. And so an opportunity at iLead Online popped up, and I dove in, starting out with the child development high school classes because I had mentored college students before. I had my background as an early childhood, so I started that way. And then that grew into also being able to have the privilege of helping launch and teach in the lower school program.
Yeah, because you guys started sort of the reverse of what we normally do with our schools. Oftentimes when we open a new school, like let me just use iLead Agua Dulce for an example. We started with kindergarten through 5th grade, and then each year we added a grade or two until we grew into the high school. iLead Online kind of started backwards. We started out with the high school and then grew down into the younger grades, right?
Yeah, when I first joined, there were a couple lower school grades, but I think it was like 2nd or 3rd was the lowest. And then I got to be a part of the designing and launching of adding kindergarten through 2nd grade to kind of bridge that gap that was missing. And then soon after that, we added the TK program as well.
Yeah, and so I want to talk about that a little bit, Jeanne, because that's something that can kind of surprise families. I do get a lot of families that are kind of shocked, right? Because, everybody's heard about online classes for college and sure, high school and, well, I guess maybe middle school. But when you talk about TK, kindergartners doing their schooling online, that just doesn't seem like it would work. But not only is it working, it's working like a charm. So can you describe a little bit about what a day or maybe a week looks like in the life of an online kindergartner or even a TK kiddo?
Absolutely. I will be completely transparent. It made me nervous as well in the beginning, and until we started innovating and talking about how we wanted to create it, because I am the core of what is developmentally appropriate. They need play, they need socialization, they need less screen time when they're younger, and I really wanted to stay true to my values with that. But we talked about, that's exactly why iLead needed to do it, because there were other things happening in the world with virtual programming, that we're struggling on how to like do it appropriately. And we were kind of a leader in that before it became a thing that got thrown on to other schools soon after because of the pandemic.
Sure.
And we had already been doing this for a little bit in an innovative way where we knew we needed a balance of, they have to pop on that screen and have some screen time, but they still need those hands-on learning experiences. And so you might think, a TK or kinder all day on the screen. That's not what we're doing. We do have virtual meetings that they get to collaborate and meet with us. We do lessons, story times, project work together, learning games and stuff like that. We build socialization, we learn together, but they're only on those sessions depending on all the opportunities that they take a part of, because we have tutoring of our other things as well. But they're on that for like 20 minutes to an hour, broken up into chunks throughout a day.
Oh, wow.
In those sessions. And then they're navigating the curriculum with a grown-up helper at home, whoever is supporting them at home, and they're going into their Brightspace curriculum, and they're participating in learning opportunities and turning in assignments. So they're grown-up helpers supporting, documenting their learning with like videos and photos, and they might do some digital games and activities as well, but there's a lot of hands-on options on there. So they get to do it at their own pacing, because that's the part that's not a scheduled time. You know, our meetings will have a scheduled time, but any time during the day that works for them as a learner. If they're an early bird and they like to get up in the morning and do some work, or they are kind of powerhousing in the afternoon, or they have other activities going on, they have the flexibility of popping on, logging in, grabbing their curriculum, and chunking it out throughout the day that works best for them. And so they might, log on, figure out what they're going to do, and they might go outside and do like a number scavenger hunt for their math. Oh, nice. They might draw a chalk on the sidewalk. Maybe they're doing it and they're more of an artist and they're using their dry erase board or their watercolors. Our learners are constantly having a lot of voice and choice in how to reach those goals. And so it's really fun to see how they navigate it. And there's definitely a great balance of hands-on learning, choice for them to follow their kind of interest. They're still reaching those goals and standards. There's still a framework to the curriculum, but they get to dive into that in many different ways. And our curriculum is built into adventures. So every 4 to 8 weeks, depending on the grade level, it's focused in on a project. And so they will be building up their knowledge on a particular focus. And then at the end, they're leading up to this project. They get to celebrate and share and build with real-world context. So it's super fun.
I absolutely love that they build their work around adventures, and I know your kids get super excited for when you're starting a new adventure and they dive headfirst into it, and they actually receive a fun little package in the mail every time they're about to start a new adventure, don't they, Jeannie?
Yeah, our TK through grade 2 learners get an adventure box. If they're full-time learners each semester, it's packaged that way. If they are vendor learners that order the adventure, then they get them each quarter. And then adventure boxes are packed with amazing materials to help them with their project work and with their learning. So sometimes it's like math cubes and letter tiles and dry erase boards and markers, but they also need crayons and clay and tissue paper and paints, and every semester and quarter has something different in there. So it's such a fun surprise for them. They love getting mail and seeing what is in there for them.
Yeah, and it's just like if they were going to a regular kindergarten classroom. All the materials that they need for their projects would be there. Theirs is getting mailed to them, and it's so fun and exciting. I've talked to a few of your parents, and I know every time an adventure box shows up, the kids get so excited to dig through and see and kind of try to guess what's coming up next. Now, I understand that as part of one of your adventure boxes, Miss Jeannie, you got flattened out recently?
Yeah, we do a flat Mrs. Jeannie at the beginning of the school year. It goes in the kindergarten adventure box, and there's also like a printable copy in our curriculum if they need access that way. And it's one of their options as like our icebreaker to start off the school year. And so they do a little bit of journal work and writing, or share their ideas verbally by doing like a video note. And it's just a great way to kind of kick off warming up and getting to know each other, but also building some literacy skills. And so it's just a flat little printout, like emoji of me. And they take me on all sorts of adventures. They get to choose what they do. And then they either record a video or write a little journal page and illustrate it. Sometimes they like to do both and share where they went and what they did with Flat Mrs. Jeannie or myself.
So can you explain to listeners who might not be familiar with why you're flattening yourself? That comes from a book called Flat Stanley, doesn't it?
Yeah, so there's a Flat Stanley book that's for a little bit of older learners. It's a chapter book that has like a very similar concept where there's this like flat character that travels around on different adventures. There's so many different versions of it. You know, I've seen schools do like mailing out teddy bears around, you know, the nation or postcards or things like that, and like building connection and community with something simple. And so the flat part makes it easy and accessible for them. Having it be me as their new facilitator, it just builds like a little bit of community, and then they get to choose easily. They can take that flat cut out of me, their teacher, and they'll take me on bike rides, hikes, reading a book with me, painting, having a snack. I've sat at some dinner tables, so wherever they go, they take me on an adventure, and then they use their literacy skills to share what they did.
That is so awesome. Jeannie, so you mentioned some of the, you know, the park, the dinner table, things like that. What are some of the more creative or maybe exotic locations that you have traveled to as Flat Mrs. Jeannie with your students?
I wouldn't say maybe exotic, but I've definitely been on some more adventurous ones. Like I said, like a bike ride, so I've been taped to a bike and rode around on some wheels. In past years, there's been families that have went on like different trips like to the museum or to the snow or things like that, and they'll take me along as well.
And I bet the kids have so much fun with that. Jeanne McMiff-Hendzelik, facilitator with iLead Online, your free online public charter school, TK through 12th grade. When we get back, we're going to talk about some of the older learners that Mrs. Jeannie works with. She works with some high schoolers as well. We're also going to be asking her some of the tough questions, like what about that social interaction? What about college prep and all that stuff? Jeannie, you've got a lot of explaining to do. We'll hear how you answer those questions when we get back. I'm Matt Watson, and this is SCVi and iLead School's Eye on the Valley. You're listening to your hometown station, KHTS. And welcome back. You are listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. This is Matt Watson, and you are listening to SCVi and iLead School's Eye on the Valley on this beautiful Friday morning in Santa Clarita. I am back with Jeanne McMiff-Hendzelik, facilitator with iLead Online. They are a free TK through 12th grade public charter school offering enrollment for students throughout Southern California. Jeannie, we were talking about some amazing things that you were doing with your youngest learners, the TKers, the kindergartners, before the break. But I wanted to ask you this. Even though iLead Online is a virtual school, there are plenty of opportunities for in-person learning through field trips, right? Because, some of the concern is if my child's not going to school on a daily basis, like physically, what about that social interaction? But you all offer plenty of field trips and things like that, right?
Yeah, we are virtual, and so a learner can navigate, on the learning platform and in our Zoom meetings together. But we want to build that community and social emotional connection as well. And so we do virtual festivals too, to just make sure it's accessible to all learners. But then we do in-person meetups, and we've really grown in this. It started kind of small in the beginning a few years ago, and now we have several every month that learners can jump in and join. And there'll be simple things that are big community, like all the lower school or all the high school, or maybe even all the school together with like beach bashes, zoo trips, museums, aquariums, things like that. And then we'll have more intimate, smaller meetups with like grade levels or a couple grades partnering together, doing activities together as well.
Yeah, I saw pictures recently of the zoo trip that your learners went on, and I think a group went to like what is it, the monkey sanctuary or the gibbon sanctuary or something like that. You
Yeah,
guys
the
are
Gibbon Sanctuary was a recent one. Yep.
Yeah, so they seem to be having a lot of fun, and they're building those relationships online with their classmates as well. So they're getting all the socialization that they need. What about building community? Uh, so I'm sure those field trips do help in building community, but what other ways are you helping build community with the learners and their families?
Absolutely. So we do. The building community is a critical component to our program. And so we do those in-person events. Like we went to like the travel town, and it bridges with the project work. So sometimes we're connecting them to curriculum, but we're also really getting to know each other in person. And after they go on one of those meetups, it explodes on our Zoom meetings. We have to start like doing special little like teaching strategies in our pocket to help bring them in a little bit, because they start to get to know each other. So they're like, I want to stay after and have a little chat with so-and-so in a breakout room. I want to do some doodle board. And so we'll put like a digital whiteboard up, and they'll draw together and talk together after we do our learning activities. So we start to get learners who want to stay on longer after the learning session, because they start to build community with each other. And that's when we know like what we're doing is really working, because they start to build bonds and create these relationships that you couldn't even imagine would happen in this virtual world, because we're fostering it virtually and when we have the opportunity in person as well. And so we're looking forward to some other in-person activities that are planned to continue to do meetups. But we build community in other ways as well. We do stay on longer sometimes after sessions, so that they can play like a game together or do a digital virtual like whiteboard. And we do, in our younger grades, the TK Kinder do what we call thought bubbles. Instead of being like a show and tell, they hold up their thought bubble and they make a bubble with their hands, so we know they want to share something. And they'll start to like bring something they want to show. They can say something they're excited that they're going to do for the weekend. Maybe they're going to Grandma's, or they're going to Legoland, or they got a new stuffed animal. Sometimes they'll even bring it to show and share. We give them those opportunities to build community and social connections as well as learning connections. And we'll do that on that small level, like in our individual classrooms. Some of our older grades in the lower school, they'll do things like fig jam boards, where they'll have like morning messages or icebreakers where they can throw up like little photos of each other, like make your silliest face, or share on a sticky note up on the digital board like your favorite holiday tradition. So we do those things where we incorporate them into sharing with each other, into building community in simple, small ways. And then it just continues on with other activities. So not only do we have those in-person events, but we have virtual events as well. And so next week, we'll be spending time in what we call Winter Festival, and we have a whole schedule that learners can check out and join to bake together, to do science experiments together, to play a game together, to have a story time together. And it's all focused on building community together with those lower school grade levels. And this particular week will be Winter Festival, but we do it in the fall. We do a spring one as well. And so they build community even with other grade level learners in virtual ways like that.
That is so much fun, and gosh, I would have never been able to create that. I love that they have you and others like you to create such an amazing space for kids. Now, Jeannie, we mentioned not only do you work with our youngest learners at iLead Online, but you also work with our oldest learners at iLead Online. You work with some of the high schoolers, and high school parents have become pretty savvy recently, and they know that California has been pushing CTE pathways, and they know that it's really important to be getting their kids ready for career and college. CTE pathways are career technical education pathways. Are you able to offer that type of college prep or career prep opportunities in an online school?
Yeah, we probably offer it more than most schools. because we are virtual, so we have the opportunity where if you're in like a brick and mortar school, you can only have so many classroom spaces and so many educators that can facilitate those things, right? Because we're in a virtual world, we have a whole course catalog of a variety of CTE pathways. So I have the privilege of helping with the child development pathway, but there are art pathways, there are digitally based pathways like video game design. There are medical science pathways. There's so many different career paths, and we keep adding onto it. Matter of fact, I believe we're just about to launch, and I might say this word wrong. I think it's called equestrian pathway, but working with horses.
Equestrian, horseback riding,
We're constantly adding new things to our pathways. So it's super fun to see those opportunities be offered for learners, because it's something that I couldn't even have imagined as a high school student. You know, there were definitely a couple options, but you were very limited, you know, in what you could choose. And here there's a whole course catalog full, and you get to go through a few like series of the courses, and at the end, like, get your certificate for completing that pathway and use it to build up your next steps.
Well, yeah, and next steps to career, right? Because now you're graduating high school with a certificate. You know, they always talk about that catch-22 of you can't get a job if you don't have experience, but you can't get experience if you don't have a job. They're getting experience. They're getting that certificate. And you're right, Jeannie, I'm looking at your catalog now. You've got career pathways in animal science. There's multiple arts, media, and entertainment pathways from design and visual arts, media, game design, fine arts. It's incredible. You've got business and finance and entrepreneurship and a finance pathway. You mentioned the child development. There's sports medicine. I bet that one's really popular. You guys have so many different pathways for your kids to get their high school diploma while preparing for their career. So I know that you also offer a tremendous amount of support. It's not just that your learners are out there on their own. So what are some of the supports that you offer your learners who may be either struggling a little bit or just need a little bit more kind of a touch point?
We have tutoring that learners can sign up for a couple times a week and add in to their already existing coursework. All of our facilitators offer live instruction support as well. So for our lower school learners, that's offered daily. And for our high school learners, every facilitator for their course, so say it's a math course or the child development course, offers 1 to 2 sessions a week that they can pop in, and those are already scheduled, so they just have to hop in and get support. But they can reach out and schedule individual sessions, or they can sign up for tutoring as well. And then our learners who have more unique needs, we have a student support team, so they offer special education services as well, where learners will have, you know, whether it's speech services or additional class services and intervention services. They will have that opportunity. And then once we get to know our learners and get our assessments navigated for the beginning of the school year, we set up small group intervention groups as well that learners can join in on weekly and get extra help in math and literacy as well. And that is across the board. We have that for our younger learners as well as our high school learners, where we keep track of those learners and are checking in with them, inviting them to those sessions and getting them there to have that extra support and intervention. In addition to that, we have IXL as a platform that they can also practice independently, and we can link that up with where they are skill-wise so that it's customized to their own learning plan. And yeah, there's just so many opportunities where we can offer them extra time, extra support, and kind of just cradle them and for whatever they need next, whether it's social emotional learning or academic support.
I love that, and that is so important. Now, Jeannie, I've been reminding our listeners all morning long that iLead Online and all of our charter schools at iLead, all charter schools in California, are free public schools, but the extra support, the tutoring and things like that, you mentioned kids can get tutoring up to twice a week. Does that come with an extra cost?
No, that's all part of our program.
Wow.
That is part of the support system that we uniquely offer learners. All of our learners get an individualized learning plan, and we support them based on not only what they need to meet for their grade level-wise or their course goals, but personally what they need as an individual.
That is phenomenal. So I can't help but think that there's somebody out there thinking, they may want to look into this, at least get a little bit more information. If someone wants to learn more about iLead Online, how can they do that, Jeannie?
They just have to check out our website. Go to iLeadOnline.org, and there's information on our program, like the philosophy of being project-based learning and what we offer, the course catalog, and even at the top there's a button that says enroll, and they can click there and pop in their information to sign up for classes.
And then I know you also have information sessions coming up for families who might be interested but want to hear a little bit more. The next Zoom information session, so the whole family can do it. And in fact, I've seen families do it like around the dinner table while they're eating. You have a Zoom information session coming up this Monday, December 15th. So that's just in a few days. Monday, December 15th at 6 p.m. If you're interested in attending, you can register on that website as well, iLeadOnline.org. Click Info Session to RSVP, and you'll receive that Zoom link for this Monday. And if you can't make it this Monday, there's always future dates coming up. I know y'all do it every couple of weeks or so. But yeah, check them out at iLeadOnline.org. Click Info Session to RSVP, and you'll receive that Zoom link. Jenny, I know you're receiving, you continue to receive mid-year applications as well, so families can sign up and fill out the application there online. One more time, iLeadOnline.org. Jeanne McMiff-Hendzelik with iLead Online. Thank you so much for your time. It was good to have you back finally. We're going to have to do it more often, Jeanne. You have a wonderful weekend.
You too. Thanks, Matt.
Thank you. And up next, it's our next installment of College Connect. Everything you need to know about how to prepare your child for college and career, facilitated by our amazing professional counselors. We're talking today about getting college credit while you're still in high school and how your kid can do that. I'm Matt Watson. You're listening to SCVi and iLead Schools Eye on the Valley. We'll be right back on your hometown station, KHTS. And welcome back. You are listening to KHTS, your hometown station, your beautiful hometown station. It is a gorgeous Friday here on 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. I am your host, Matt Watson. You are listening to SCVi and iLead Schools Eye on the Valley, and we are back with another edition of College Corner. We debuted College Corner as a new segment once a month back in August, and each week our counselors come in with some amazing advice for you as families of youngsters getting your kids ready for college. This week, I'm joined by two members of our amazing counseling staff, Matt Zuchowicz, Director of Learning Support in College and Career, and the academic counselor with iLead Online. We just talked to an amazing facilitator with iLead Online, and now we've got their academic counselor, Brianna Rosas. Brianna, Matt, welcome to Eye on the Valley.
Oh, thanks so much, Matt. It's great to be here.
So, Matt,
yes, thank you so much for having us.
Thank you for joining me. So, Matt, we've had you on the show before, and you've got kind of a unique role in the education world. Can you tell us what a K-14 pathway coordinator is and how you support both iLead and K-14 learning in the region in general?
Absolutely, Matt. Thanks. I appreciate the question. So, as you pointed out, I am what's called a K-14 Strong Workforce Program pathway coordinator. And so my role is to develop pathways between middle school, high school, through community college to give students opportunities to learn about possible careers and opportunities in the work world. And I work directly with iLead schools as well, so I get to work closely with Brianna, which is a wonderful thing, and also with the community colleges.
That's great. So you really help out. So K-14 refers to through that second year of college or community college, but you really help out our K-12 schools connect to the community and to our local colleges, regardless of whether our graduates end up at an apprenticeship, maybe a vocational school, direct entry to the workforce, community college, or even four-year college. It's important for learners as young as middle school to start thinking about their journey and preparing. We're about to go into winter break, Matt. What should our listeners at home be thinking about doing right now to prepare for the future?
Oh, well, right now we're coming up on winter break, and it's a great opportunity to brag what we call the brag sheet, meaning something that students can put together that they can show what they've learned, what skills they have, what they could bring to either a college or a work environment. They also have an opportunity to do some volunteer work in an area if they have a passion, an interest. They can do some studying for the families. They can also begin studying, planning for the spring and thinking about what classes they might consider for next year, because every year is really critical as you build moving into either college or a career opportunity.
So that's a great way to think about connecting meaningful activities out of school to the future in a way that fits best for each child, because that's what we're all about, is making sure that the kids get their best fit. Thanks, Matt. And I would imagine one of those things to plan for, particularly for our 8th grade families, because, you got to be starting early, is what high school best serves them. iLead has a total of 5 high school programs, each with a different flavor, a different format. But as a whole, our high schools do a few things worth noting for families. Tell us what makes iLead such a great option for high school through project-based learning. Tell us, why iLead is such a good option for high schools.
iLead is so unique in so many different ways. I mean, you touched on the point that there's project-based learning, which really engages the kids in their learning and what they're doing. So it gives a reason for the learning, and also the individualized learning, and that we make sure that we're tailoring the education to the individual needs of every child. And we also promote social emotional learning to make sure that students are really taken care of and they feel comfortable in the learning environment. And in this particular piece, in terms of the social emotional learning and the individualized learning, is really great because it's perfect for our counselors to really use every opportunity to get students to where they want to go. And all of our schools, as you pointed out, we have different high schools with different formats, whether that be a seat-based school, a totally online school, a homeschool program. They offer career technical education, advanced coursework such as AP classes, as well as college credit coursework that can count both towards high school graduation and transferable college units. We, in the business, call that dual enrollment.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so great segue talking about the different formats. We've been talking about iLead Online a lot this morning. iLead Online has been known in the online learning community as a leader in individualized education, project-based learning, and meaningful, truly meaningful learning. Brianna, your school has grown steadily over the years with great outcomes for your learners. Historically, your school is above the national average for AP exam pass rates. You offer an impressive amount of online career technical education pathways that Jeannie was just talking about, with opportunities for work-based learning, internships, and industry-recognized credentials. Now, it sounds like you're also offering something else to help kickstart learners into their post-secondary journeys. But before we get to that, tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do at iLead Online.
Yeah, of course. So just a little bit about me. This is my 5th year overall as a counselor, first year with iLead Online, and I couldn't be more happy to be on this team. Our team of counselors is really, again, as Matt mentioned, is a really personalized, we really take a very personalized approach, and our counseling team is really great at meeting our learners where they're at. And one of the things that we utilize on a regular basis is what we call our graduation planners, which is a easily accessible document for our learners and our learners' families. And it gives them the kind of just overall outlook of their courses, how to best plan throughout their high school journey. And it really is a great tool for everyone to use and for learners and families to feel more comfortable in the process and to feel like they have a say in how their high school journeys go. And what's also fantastic is us as counselors, we also work with our academic coaches to really kind of, again, learn more about our learners as a whole, who they are, where they want to go, and how we can maximize the offerings that we have at iLead Online to get them there. And we really are just a team of support and guidance, and it's a really great environment for learners and their families.
Now, Brianna, we only have a couple minutes left, but there's so much more I want to talk about. It's my understanding that the learners at iLead Online have been taking college courses concurrently on their own before, but you're doing something different now in a partnership with Antelope Valley College. Can you tell us about dual enrollment and what you're doing now?
Yes, of course. So this school year we have an agreement with Antelope Valley College specifically. So basically we have several dual enrollment classes that are available to our learners. These classes are absolutely free. And what's fantastic about this opportunity is that these classes are transferable college credits, specifically for the UC and Cal State systems. These classes are specifically for high school students. So again, any high school students that maybe feel a little bit uncomfortable in a regular college class can feel that sense of comfort knowing that they're in a class exclusively with high school students, but with that college curriculum. And again, it's more tailored to the high school experience. And what's fantastic about this is because it's a partnership with Antelope Valley College, we are able to be another system of support for our learners. So I myself and our other fellow counselors, our academic coaches, we have a lot of systems of support in place to make sure our learners can feel like they can succeed and do well in these college classes.
And that is just a beautiful kind of long on-ramp to college so that they're getting used to these courses while they're still in high school. They can take a couple of courses per semester, year by year, and receiving that support that you said from your high school staff, they can then potentially transfer not only into community college, but they can transfer those units straight into a four-year college too, right?
Correct, yes. So with just some exception, every college is slightly different on what they accept, specifically when it comes to like private colleges and universities. But our California students can potentially graduate with the majority of their undergraduate general education done and possibly even enter their college of choice as a sophomore. So it really is an opportunity and an opportunity to save money and to really allow for learners to have more focus on their specific major of choice and their major courses. And what's also fantastic about this is that it helps them get their high school graduation required classes completed quicker, and it really leaves room in their schedule for career technical education pathways, electives, work-based learning opportunities, and really just
and I really appreciate that you can help them. I appreciate that you can help them double up. They get their high school classes and their college classes at the same time. Matt, Brianna, we're up against it, but thanks so much for joining us. Stick around. When we get back, we've got Jenny Shadle from the city. This is Matt. Welcome back. You are listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. I am Matt Watson, and you are listening to SCVi and iLead School's Eye on the Valley. And the weather outside on this December morning is reminding us why our mortgage is so high. It is amazing out there today. And speaking of amazing, I am joined now by Jenny Shadle from the city of Santa Clarita. Jenny was born and raised right here in Awesome Town, and why would she go anywhere else? She has dedicated the last 2 decades of her life working for our city. She is the city's Arts and Events Administrator. Jenny previously sat on the board of the Santa Clarita Valley Education Foundation and the board of Eclipse Theater LA. She's a dog lover, a yoga and running enthusiast who maintains a very minimal digital footprint, I discovered, Jenny. Welcome back to Eye on the Valley.
I'm impressed with all that information, too.
Well, I try to do my research, and you don't give us much to go on.
That was great research, actually. If you hit all my topics, that was it right there. Maybe pottery. Maybe that's why that would be my last one. But yeah, okay. you hit it all.
All righty. So let's just jump right in. Can you tell our listeners how you came to work for the city of Santa Clarita and how your role has evolved over the years?
Yes, of course. So I actually started working for the city of Santa Clarita about 22 plus years ago.
All right.
I started as part-time as an part-time event helper, doing events for the city, and then I was promoted into a full-time position, and then my road has kind of led me through events to the current position that I'm in right now, which is the Arts and Events Administrator. I currently manage our arts programming, meaning our civic art, public art, art services to our community, nonprofits, and artist development, as well as managing the Main, which is the 81-seat theater right here in Old Town Newhall, as well as our volunteer programs. So we have about 3,000 volunteers that come through us every year and dedicate thousands and thousands of hours to our community to make it as great as it is.
So you keep kind of busy.
I'm a little busy, and I like it.
Yeah,
I like it.
I was gonna say, when it comes to the productions going on at the Main, the different arts performances in town, or all the different events, if you attended all of them start to finish, you would just never sleep.
Probably not. I think I just wrote notes on this the other day, is we have almost 300 plus days of events or programmatic things that happen within our community. So yes, there is a lot to do for residents of Santa Clarita.
There really is. But Jenny, and this is in huge part thanks to you and your team, this is one of the things that makes Santa Clarita such an amazing place to live and work and spend your time. So let's get into it. Recently, the city has hosted some absolutely phenomenal events. So do you want to just start by recapping some of the things that you and your team have put on recently?
Yes, recently we have done the Business of Artists Conference, which happened at the beginning of October. This conference actually is very geared towards our artist development and looking for that next thing that artist need, either in theater, film, music, or kind of just a little bit of inspiration. It is a wonderful conference. It is free and it is accessible to Santa Clarita residents as well as anybody regional. We will host it again next year in October. Light Up Main Street just happened here in Old Town Newhall, where the lights came on and it was beautiful, and a tree lighting, and it was pouring that day,
but the people came out.
I believe our stats on that was about 6,000 plus people came out for that tree lighting. Our staff are amazing. They started very early in the morning. I believe they started at 4 a.m. and started setting up in that pouring rain. I believe we got about 2 inches that day, and it was an amazing event. The Family Literacy Festival, it is held at the Old Town Newhall Public Library. Theme this year was Books Under the Big Top, and it always attracts a lot of families, it attracts a lot of volunteers, and it attracts that literacy drive in everyone here. And the last one I'm going to plug is Sidewalk Poetry. Each year the city does a call for artists on poems to be stamped into our sidewalks around Santa Clarita.
I've seen that and wondered about that.
They are so fun. We have over 70, I believe, sidewalk poems at this point around our community that you can be walking along your neighborhood and find. The deadline for this next submission year is coming up on Sunday.
So would folks suggest a professional poem, or they would write their own poem?
They would write their own poem.
Okay.
They would write their own poem. They would submit it. We get hundreds of applicants every year that we have an artist selection committee go through, we have one that's a poet laureate, so they really go through it and can make recommendations to the poems if you are submitting this year.
All right, fantastic. I'm going to dust off my little haiku notebook and maybe submit an entry. And
yes.
The poems that are stamped, they're around the city. It's not like the Western Walk of Fame we have here in downtown Newhall, where they're all clumped together. They're like Easter eggs in the community, aren't they?
Correct. You could be walking along the paseos, trails, your sidewalks. They are by schools and bus stops. Yeah, look down, look at your feet. They are so beautifully done.
Yeah, they really are. And like you said, they just kind of pop up. I recently discovered one on my morning walk up in Saugus. I know there's one in front of the Boys and Girls Club here in Newhall, and they're They're absolutely amazing. I have to ask you this, and maybe I'm stepping a little bit out of line here, but there was recently an event, again, here in downtown Newhall. Was that a city event? Did y'all have any part to play in the whole Barmageddon thing a couple weeks ago?
No, that wouldn't be a city-produced event.
Okay, that
Yeah.
was just a bunch of Gen Zers going rogue and taking over the streets here in Newhall.
I
huh?
guess so.
Okay.
I'm so sorry. I
It
didn't
looked
hear
like-
about this. I
no,
can't
it
wait
was
to hear
quite
about
a party.
it.
I'm sorry you missed it.
I did miss
Oh,
that.
my
I did miss.
goodness,
No,
it
that
was-
would not be a sanctioned city event, no.
Yeah, it was a bunch of young people doing the absolutely ill-advised, going out to the bars the night before Thanksgiving to connect with their old high school buddies, and it was just wild down here.
Wow.
Wild.
No, I apologize. I did not hear about that
no, I
event.
just watched
and
from
it was
afar.
not a city event.
Okay, cool. We'll just edit that part out, and we'll continue moving forward. You mentioned the work that the city does with the Maine, and I just love that when this small theater in town was kind of struggling a bit, the city stepped in and said, no, there's a need for this in our community. We're going to take it over, going to make not only run it, but we're going to make it profitable. So can you remind listeners about the venue? What role does the city play in managing the Maine, and how does the Maine and the city of Santa Clarita support local artists?
So you're right. The Maine has been kind of a staple in Old Town Newhall for
Yeah.
many years, since the 90s.
Yes.
It came in as a nonprofit programming. Then, yes, you're right. The city did take it over in about 2017 and has managed the facility. It is an 81-seat theater. We now have, in this next 2026 year, 23 productions that are coming in
Wow.
to the Maine. So there is so much to see, from comedy to serious pieces to one-person acts, holiday themed. Everything that you want in theater is here at the Maine. It is highly programmed, and we also have not only productions that come in, meaning theater productions, 2-week or 1-week runs, but also one-off events. So we will have a series of Enchanted, which is kind of a magic or mystical night. Plus, there is comedy and society improv. So improv shows that come out also within our schedule. It is a wonderful theater to maybe make it a date night.
It really is, and it's like you said, 81 seats, very intimate. There is literally not a bad seat in the house, because even the very back row is very, very close to the stage, and just beautiful. I saw a production there just maybe a couple, 3 weeks ago called Native Gardens.
Oh, yes.
Wonderful production. It was absolutely fantastic. Very fun.
Hope Arts Theater does a wonderful job in their set design and their production of events. So as I said, there's 23 productions that will happen and 21 theater groups that will be coming out for that. So that means that there is 21 bodies of theater producers that want to produce
I see.
shows. So the Maine does not actually produce their own product, but facilitates the production of other theater companies to come out and do their productions.
Right. So can you give us a glimpse into what folks can look forward to coming up in maybe the last couple of weeks of 2025, or maybe what's coming in 2026?
This weekend actually is Theater in a Week, Holiday Hijinx. This is a theater company, off-book theater company. They do... So it's called Theater in a Week. It is 7 days to write, direct, produce, act, get off the book, and perform for the weekend. It's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Wow.
It is holiday themed. It's so fun to watch. And Barry Agan, who is the director of it, he is such a good writer. You will love to see that one.
Okay.
And then our season starts in 2026. So the first few are The Fantastics by Theater Exemprio. It is a beloved 42-year running musical.
Oh, wow.
As well as Curse of the Starving Class. This is an American playwright by Sam Shepard that follows a working class family in a sparsely populated desert region of California. And then February goes on. We have events at the beginning of the month, and then our productions is Still Life in Central Park, which is a play about intersecting lives told through 9 vignettes on a single park bench.
Oh, wow. And this one is kind of mid-February, February 13th through the 22nd.
That is.
What a great Valentine's Day kind of
Date
night
night
out.
out. Yes, please come to Old Town Newhall, grab a cocktail at one of the beautiful restaurants down here or bars, and come to the Main. Make it a date night. That is one of our campaigns that we try to instill within the community because Old Town Newhall is so fun to hang out in.
Oh, it really is. And yeah, you just park here in the parking structure, maybe grab a pizza, grab a brew across the street, head on into the Main for some of these amazing events.
Yes, they're very fun.
Fantastic. So how do folks, and I love the website, by the way, which I know you're going to mention, but how do folks get tickets to events at the Main?
Definitely check out the website. It's at themain.org. You can buy your tickets right online. We use a platform to purchase tickets on, and then you show up to the box office window and come right into the theater. It's open seating, so there's not a assigned seat. You can come as early as you want and sit wherever you would like. Yeah,
and I love that. I'm one of those weird people that I actually like Southwest Airlines' old way of doing things. I like, deciding where I sit because it's all about the mood that I'm in. Sometimes I like to hang back there in the back and just like be that audience at the play. And this last one that I went to, I wanted to be right up front, and because it was neat. It was just like I think total cast was six people and 4 main characters, and it was set in these adjoining backyards, and so I wanted that feeling of just like literally sitting in these 2 couples' backyards and seeing how they interact
and being a part of it.
Yeah,
and that's really
100%.
what the Main is. It is an 81-seat theater. It is a close-up black box type theater that productions come in, and it is very intimate and so wonderful to see these productions really come to life. As you said, you feel like you're almost in part of the production.
And just because it's small doesn't mean that they aren't world-class productions. They the groups that come in put on amazing shows.
Yes, they do.
So again, you can get tickets at themain.org, and I'm not stuttering. The website is at themain.org, and it's just super easy. You buy your tickets, you download them onto your phone, and boom, you are right in. Jenny Shadle, Arts and Events Administrator with the City of Santa Clarita. We talked all about the Main and some of the different events that happened recently. But when we get back, we're going to talk about, exhibitionists.
No.
Ooh la la.
Art exhibits. I think I think your notes are wrong.
I think producer Sarah really set me up for that one. Okay. Well, but it's still going to be exciting. And then maybe we'll even try to get Jenny to give us the scoop on what's coming up for the 2026 season in events around the city of Santa Clarita. You stick around. I am Matt Watson. This is SCVi and iLead School's Eye on the Valley. You're listening to your hometown station, KHTS. Welcome back. You are listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. This is Matt Watson. You are listening to SCVi and iLead School's Eye on the Valley. We're talking this morning with Jenny Shadle, Arts and Events Administrator for the City of Santa Clarita. Jenny, we talked a lot about the small kind of black box theater that the city runs here in downtown Newhall. The Main, folks can get tickets for any one of the many different productions that are being put on at the Main by going to at themain.org. But your office does so much more than that. You coordinate a lot of the, you coordinate, I think, all of the different art exhibits around town. Can you tell us, can you let us know what's on view now and maybe some of the things that are coming up?
I sure can. Actually, I can give you a recap of 2025 of our art
exhibits.
Let's
do it. Let's take a look back at the
let's
year
take a
in
look
art.
Back. We actually had 36 total exhibitions for the year, 11 art receptions that happened throughout the year, as well as a total of 931 artworks displayed for the community to come and see. That is our biggest number of artworks that we have ever had within the city, and it has been so fun to coordinate and see all of that come together within our 6 exhibition spaces.
Y'all don't mess around.
We don't. We want art here. We want to be the city of the arts.
Yes.
So I'll start with the Main, actually, since we just talked about the Main. The Main's current exhibition that's up is Persona Grata Portraits Exhibition. It is a very large-scaled, colorful, quilted product or artwork that's hung on the walls. Please come and see this. These are bold portraits made out of textile. They're so beautiful to come and see. Come by the main. If you're coming this weekend, you'll see them there. Not to plug that twice.
Well, yeah, but no, it really is great. You want to show up early. There's a nice little snack bar there at the main. So is it just open during production time, or can folks drop by like at their lunch break?
It is only open during production time at this time, or during events like if we're having an event on the street, like Sen says, we will have the doors open for that. But no, it's not a walk-up, unfortunately, at this point.
But do folks need a ticket? Do they have to buy a ticket for the
Nope.
show? Or
Come on in.
If there's a show that's getting ready to start, they can come in and see the exhibit.
See the exhibit. It's
Persona
beautiful.
grata. It really is. It's stunning. Yeah.
It's stunning, stunning. Other locations that we have art exhibits this month are Travel and Adventure exhibit at City Hall First Floor Gallery. That exhibit goes until March, and there is a reception on January 14th for that art exhibit.
And this is beautiful. It's kind of a more impressionist take. Yeah?
Yes, yeah. Travel and Adventure, and this is a group show. So artists will submit their artwork for the show. If there is a theme of the show, obviously this one was travel and adventure.
Yeah.
And then it is juried, and their pieces get put up depending on which location has either a solo show or a group showing.
Okay, great.
There is a pop culture exhibition at the Newhall Community Center along their areas. This is also a juried show of iconic imagery influenced by that pop culture.
Is that
artwork.
the color expressions? Is that?
It's called Pop Culture.
Oh,
it's
Pop
the
Culture. I'm not seeing it on the website.
Newhall Community Center. That'll be up. You know what? It doesn't go up until next week. So I'm sorry. That was
okay.
your sneak peek right there.
Yeah,
I apologize
there we
for
go.
that. That was your
that's
sneak
good.
peek. It goes up next week. And
I
that's
see it now. It's under future exhibitions.
Yes, and that'll be up until March 25th.
All right, so that one is, like you said, just coming up next week. And again, like that bold kind of gogi art, the pop art, really, really cool.
Pop out, yes. And that you can go and see at any point. The Newhall Community Center is open all week long.
Fun exhibit to see with the kids.
Yes,
right.
yes.
It's kind of a different take on what art can be.
Yes. And art can be so many different things.
Yeah.
Like at the Canyon Country Community Center, Let's Go exhibit, which is is a solo art exhibit by Danny Sampson, and it's a series of collage created through intentional acts of surrender. So his work is very textiled and collage made from. So definitely a different type of artwork there.
Beautiful,
also.
and that's at Canyon Country Community Center.
That is the Canyon Country Community Center.
And so again, now are these things that folks can just kind of pop in on? That doesn't require a specific ticket or reservation or time of day?
Nope. Come on through.
Okay, as long as the community centers are open, go see the art exhibits there.
And locations that we actually have the art exhibits at are at City Hall, First Floor Gallery, Newhall Community Center, Canyon Country Community Center, the Valencia Library, Old Town Newhall Library, and at the Main. So we have 6 locations that you can come and see either group shows or solo exhibits.
Again, just art all over the city. That is absolutely fantastic. And so what should local artists be on the lookout for if they want to participate in future exhibits?
There is an application process. So if you were looking for a solo exhibition, then you would fill out the application, and it would go actually for the next year because our 2026 is already set.
Booked, yeah.
We are booked and set for it. So go ahead and go online at santaclaritaarts.com, and there is a art exhibit tab or gallery tab, and you are able to submit through our online form of a solo exhibit. If there is a juried group exhibition, there will be media out, and you are able to also apply for that. We do give what all of the themes are for the year. So if you're looking at something and you're like, oh, I really love to do the November one, see what the themes are and get ready for November's shows.
Okay, fantastic. So you're given the opportunity for local poets to have their poetry stamped in different pieces of concrete throughout the city sidewalks. You're giving local artists the opportunity to share their work in some of the many different exhibits around town. And then if that weren't enough, you also help manage the arts and community services grants for the city as well, right? Can you tell us a little bit about that opportunity provided by the city each year?
Correct. Yeah, the city of Santa Clarita distributes $100,000 of grants to our local nonprofits. The arts grants and community service grants have been submitted and will be going to City Council in the second meeting in January to be awarded to the nonprofits out here in Santa Clarita.
All right. So any previews that you're allowed to share for 2026?
I can share that it was a lot of great applications that came in. We have such a great, diverse nonprofit community in Santa Clarita, not only for the arts, but for the community services side. I kind of focus more on the arts side, from the arts and events administrative side, and from the productions to the schools to the nonprofits that want to give back to the community. All of these arts grants are really, really wonderful. It's unfortunate that we don't have the budget to fund everybody and all the projects, but it is so wonderful that we do have a competition of to make sure that your art form and nonprofit business are in that vein of building yourself and the community.
Okay. So you are, as we said, the Arts and Events Administrator. We've talked a lot about the arts. Let's get into some of the events. What events can residents of Santa Clarita look forward to in 2026? What have we got coming up this year?
2026, we already have a lineup of all of our events. As you can tell, we start planning in the mid-year of the year before on what is happening for the next year. And it is so fun. We have the Youth Art Showcase coming up in March, and the Youth Art Showcase really is that showcase of our community youth.
Yeah.
So anything from visual to performing arts to music, we really want that community input there for that showing. The Cowboy Festival is in April. This will be the 30th year for the Cowboy Festival. I'm hoping I said that correctly. 94, no, that can't be right. No, 30th year.
Yeah,
30th year.
Right.
It's got to be the 30th year. This is the 30th. I'm gonna go on stance on this 30th year.
There we go. Hey.
We'll see if I'm right or not later on in this episode.
So let it be written, so let it be done. But yeah, the Cowboy Arts Festival, or the Cowboy Festival is kind of an interesting, it's had kind of an interesting history with our community. It's something that was very popular, and I remember when I was a younger fellow, going out, but then it sort of, we all thought that the Cowboy Festival kind of died during the pandemic, right? We didn't have it in the pandemic, and then as we came out of the pandemic, no, we're just going to kind of not do it anymore. And the residents of Santa Clarita said, no, that's not a thing. Bring back our cowboys.
Well, it never died, and it was never going to go away. I promise you. I promise you.
I don't know where I heard that. It felt that way.
The community, it probably really felt that way in 2020.
It felt like so many things.
So
went
many
away.
things at that
We
time.
lost our 4th of July parade.
Yeah, there was so much.
We lost our concerts in the park.
So much. But we never lost it. It was just on
hiatus.
It
was on hiatus. There we go.
It was just on hiatus for that couple years. But yes, the city of Santa Clarita does produce the Cowboy Festival. We are so excited to produce it at the William S. Hart Park. This will be the first year that the city owns the park and also is going to produce the event. So we have produced the event in previous years at Hart Park, but it wasn't owned by the city at that time. So this will be so excited that we own the park, that the city is producing this event for the community. It will be grand as always. It will have performers at various stages. It will have axe throwing and leather making and cowboy vendoring of cowboy boots and chaps and leather products. It is a wonderful event. It is so fun to have. And if you haven't gone through Hart Park, go through the entire Hart Park, the barnyard area up to the historical societies area. They have really, really undertaken that facility and really made it their own.
And I have to tell you that I've had some friends that have kind of shied away from the Cowboy Festival because they always figured, if you drive around, they shut down all the roads, the parking's crazy. But your team does an amazing job with parking. You've got satellite parking areas that run shuttle buses, it seems like every 3 to 4 minutes. And it is an easy park up the road, take a comfortable bus right down to the front gate, and you are in.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And for a free event, it is so,
There we go. You can't do better than that.
Another thing to boast about, but yes, the Cowboy Festival is a free event. Park at 13th Street shuttle site. Take the bus down to Hart Park and enjoy your day there. It is so fun to see the musicians, the acts, and just enjoy yourself for the day.
Yeah, and speaking of free events that y'all put on, you've gotten used to putting on kind of a couple of series of events, not just kind of once per year. I'm talking about Senses and Celebrate. Can you talk about each one of those for folks that might not be aware?
Yeah, Census Block Party. Census Block Party actually started in 2011. So it has been going on for a good amount of time. It is down here in Old Town Newhall. The street is shut down, and music is played. We have food trucks. We have themed nights each month, and it is a very enjoyable evening to come out and hang out with family, friends, and the community.
More of an adult theme?
It is typically more adult themed. So it does start in the evening at 7 p.m., goes until 10 p.m., and it has everything from cocktails on the street to food and music and dancing.
Yeah, and it is a true block party. And I remember when y'all first launched this, I remember thinking, those businesses in downtown Newhall aren't going to appreciate having the street blocked off. Oh, no! They throw their doors open, and the block party just flows inside, outside, all over the place. It is great.
We have always actually had a great relationship with the businesses on that block. They have always really taken advantage of that series and have enjoyed it very much since the very beginning.
Yeah.
Since the very beginning, we've worked with all of them.
And then quickly becoming one of my most favorite is Celebrate. This is something that's really cool that y'all are doing. Tell our listeners.
Celebrate is a series of events that actually happens at the Canyon Country Community Center, and it focuses on different regions of the world to celebrate different cultures and their music, dance, food. They really, I wouldn't say theme, but they really embrace that culture and want you to experience it and learn about it. They have facts and information within that event to learn a little bit more about the cultures around either in Santa Clarita or around the world.
Yeah, definitely. And it's celebrating a different culture each month. And this one is a great event to bring the kids out to, let them run around. There's always different crafts and activities and learning activities for the kids to learn about the different cultures. Also a great kind of early Friday night, date night kind of experience for maybe younger adult couples or, older couples. It's a beautiful event.
It is definitely definitely more family focused, with the crafts being more for a youth base.
Right.
But it is still something to come out to enjoy that evening of music, dance, food, and activities with your whole family.
Yeah, and like you said, there are food trucks that I remember, for example, Celebrate Japan. There were Japanese and sushi food trucks out there, of course, but then there were also Japanese restaurants that had samples from their restaurant. There was a sumo wrestling demonstration right in the middle of the park that was amazing. And, y'all have done, I think, Celebrate Ecuador, Celebrate Egypt, several South American countries. Yep. You travel around the world without ever having to leave the Santa Clarita Valley. It is beautiful. And this is just me, and maybe the boss is going to get mad for me discussing this in depth, but the Sister Cities organization here in town, they put on my favorite booth at Celebrate. They bring in beer and cocktails from the culture that's being celebrated every month.
Yes. The board, Sister Cities board, is very creative. They put a lot of work into making sure that your cocktail for the evening also represents the culture of the night, and they do a great job. I know the bartenders very well, and they put a lot of effort and love into making you feel like you are part of that culture.
They are amazing. They'll spend a week or two ahead of time researching the different typical cocktails in the culture, and they'll buy the ingredients and mix them up, and then they've even been known to bring in maybe some of the beers that are brewed in that country.
Yep.
So it's
they do a wonderful job. And
so
Sister Cities is a great organization. They are a nonprofit that is hosts the city of Santa Clarita has two sister cities, one in the Philippines and one in Ecuador.
Yeah, Sariaya, Philippines, and then Tena, Ecuador. And then we're not sister cities yet, but are we still, there was a city that we were sort of dating.
Friendshipping.
Right.
Friendshipping, a city in India.
Oh, okay.
I believe.
Okay, fantastic. So yeah, they do great work getting commerce as well as international exchange with different countries from around the world. It's a small but powerful board in our city, and we're so grateful for them. Jenny, why is it so important? Why has our city placed so much focus? Because it's a ton of work, and our city does invest quite a bit in the arts and these different events. Why do you think that that's been so important for our city?
Ooh, that is a deep question. I'm going to go with personal. I think that it is so important to invest in the arts because the arts is that catalyst for creativity. So creativity is something that I think everybody needs to embody within anything they do, not only within your visual arts, performing arts, music, but within your architect, in your math, in your day-to-day, to have that creativity and that mind to look at things in a different way is so important. And I think that the arts is the thing that catalysts and makes that happen for our community. So I do think that the community is so invested and makes the art so important because that's what makes a well-rounded community and a well-rounded human.
Absolutely. And I think our listeners are probably, if they haven't already discovering, if they have, rediscovering, wow, there's really a lot out there in our city for us to go see, do, participate in, especially with the amazing weekend we're going to have. It's going to be stunning, absolutely gorgeous this weekend. So what are the best places for people to learn more about events happening in the city?
For events happening in the city, you can always check out the city's website, santaclarita.gov. For arts programming, santaclaritaarts.com. For the Main, at themain.org. Oh, we have so many websites. They all connect to each other, though. So you can find it all
cross-reference. It's good for
your SEO.
Yes,
they all cross-reference each other, as well as social media. The city of Santa Clarita has their own social media platforms as well as events and the Main. Sign up for all of it. You will be so flooded with information on what to do every weekend. You'll love it. You'll want to come out.
Yeah, absolutely. And if it's been a lot to digest this morning, because I know we've talked about a lot of things, you can always just re-listen to the show on the podcast. Go to hometownstation.com and check us out on On-Air Features podcasts, and you can re-listen to the segment here with Jenny and remind yourself and remind your family of all the different amazing opportunities that our city provides us. Jenny, I do have one more question for you. Do you have any siblings?
I do.
Okay, so I've got a big brother, and over the last couple of years, we've kind of had this thing on the show every Friday at about 9:45. My big brother calls in with jokes and trivia and fun facts, but lately he's been kind of pouting. He says that I don't pay him enough. Now, just a couple of months ago, we gave him a 30% increase, and that didn't seem to be enough.
Interesting.
Turns out 30% of zero is still zero.
Interesting. Also
so
interesting.
I offered to double his pay, and he said he wasn't sure if he was going to have the time to make it. So I didn't really know what to do with that. So I asked producer Sarah to cover. I got to be honest, and I'm not just doing the radio comedy bit here. I don't know if Tony's going to be calling in. I don't know what's going to happen. We may need to just kill some time on the radio, or we may have our fun, our hijinks, or just, like I said, radio chaos. Can you stick around and support me one way or the other?
I would love to. And all of it.
All right. Fantastic. We're not sure what's coming, but Jenny and I are ready for it. You stick around and see. This could crash and burn. It could be lots of fun. I have no idea, but stick around. I'm Matt Watson. This is SCVi and iLead Schools, Eye on the Valley, on your hometown station, KHTS. Welcome back. A little nervous. Welcome back. You're listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. Well, I stuck the post. So far, so good, guys. This is SCVi and iLead Schools, Eye on the Valley. I am your host, Matt Watson. I'm joined this morning by Jenny Shadle, Arts and Events Administrator for the City of Santa Clarita. Jenny, thanks for sticking around with us, even though I don't know what we're sticking around for.
I can't wait. I can't wait to find out.
And we also brought Delgado from the morning show in here. Thanks, Delgado.
Good morning.
All right. So I was mentioning before the break, Big T's gotten a little bit temperamental, I guess, and he just said he didn't know if he would have enough time to join us on this week's show, and so I kind of don't. Somebody's on the phone.
We lucked out.
Okay.
It's a Christmas
All
miracle.
right, fantastic. Big T, is that you?
Oh, no, Matt. I'm so sorry.
Oh, it is Producer Sarah, everybody. You hear me talk about Producer Sarah every week, but rarely do we get her on the air. Producer Sarah, kudos to you. I mentioned it in the first hour that we may need some content. So Have you got something for us, or should we just flip the switch and go to dead air?
Yeah. Oh, I would never leave you hanging.
Oh, you are the best. You are the best. So, is it poetry? What do we got?
Well, I don't have any fun facts for you because I'm no fun. That's why I look behind the scenes.
Okay.
That's why you're the one on air.
Gotcha.
I know, Tony, usually starts with a fun fact, but I can do trivia with you. Would you set up for our listeners how that works?
Oh, my gosh. Have you got trivia questions?
I'm ready to go.
You are absolutely the best. All right. So Big T normally calls in with trivia. This week, we've got producer Sarah. And, here's what we're going to do, Jenny. Apparently, producer Sarah's got some trivia questions. And so she'll read the question. And then what we do is if you know the answer, you hit your buzzer. You have to chime in. Don't just shout out the answer. Okay. You got your buzzer? Bzz. Well, actually, what we do is we typically call out our name.
Oh, that makes more sense, actually, than a actual buzzer sound.
Right, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So, like, Andrew's going to call out Andrew. For whatever reason, I call out Frogger. Nobody knows why.
Okay.
But we've got a little bit of a struggle here. Yeah. We got Jen and we got Jenny. So is that going to be too difficult for you to discern, Producer Sarah?
I'll ask for assistance from you all.
Okay.
How's that?
Okay.
The honor
there
system.
We go. We will be fair. Okay, so we've got Jen, Frogger, Andrew, Jenny, and you call out your name, and then when Sarah acknowledges you, then you can give your answer. The listeners, they get an advantage. They can just shout out the answer and see if they can beat us.
Nice.
But Jenny, you're pretty smart. Jen and Andrew are pretty smart too. I don't know that the listeners are going to be able to beat us, but let's see. All right, Producer Sarah, what you got?
Okay, so because Tony's going on strike, let me ask you guys this one. Who was the president of the International Brotherhood of Teamsters?
Ooh, Frogger.
Frogger.
Well, I'm going to go, was that Jimmy Hoffa?
You are correct.
Woohoo!
Wow.
Okay, so next one. Who played Jimmy Hoffa in the 1992 film Hoffa?
Frogger.
And then Andrew.
Frogger again?
I'm going to go with Gene Hackman.
No. Anybody else?
I'd say Gandolfini.
Was it James Gandolfini?
Nope.
Nope. Jenny, you got anything?
I got nothing.
What about James Caan?
Oh, good one.
Oh, no.
Who
Oh,
was it?
no. Are you guys ready for me to give it to you?
We are.
Jenny? Or
Yes,
Jen?
go for it.
Who we got? Who played him?
Jack Nicholson.
Oh.
Jack. Okay, that makes sense too.
All right, and then this next one's going to be really hard for you guys because you didn't know that Jack Nicholson played Hoffa. How many Academy Award nominations has Jack Nicholson received?
Andrew.
Andrew.
12.
Bingo!
Whoa.
I feel like Andrew should get 2 points for that
Yeah.
Right.
Nailed it.
He pretended that he was guessing. He's totally sandbagging on us.
one. He really is. That's awesome. Okay, shifting topics. The city of Santa Clarita is celebrating its anniversary of becoming a city on Monday. What year was the city of Santa Clarita officially founded?
Frogger.
Frogger.
I know this one because I was in high school at the time. 1987.
You got it.
Woohoo.
December 16th, 1987. And because you're so good at math, how many years ago was that?
Oh God. Frogger.
Oh, I thought it was just a continuation on yours.
Carry the 2. 38.
Wow, it's been a while since you were in high school.
Yeah.
You got that one.
I was -2.
Wow. Wow. This feels just like my big brother.
I feel like I'm channeling Big T while I do this.
Oh, jeez.
All right. So what are the names of the 2 live theater venues on Main Street in the city's Arts District?
Jennifer.
Jennifer?
The Main, and Canyon Theater Guild.
You got it.
Can I throw out?
Terrific.
Can I throw out
And
also a third one that's in Newhall?
Oh, get out.
Newhall. Sorry, go ahead,
If you
Sarah.
want to spoil my...
Oh, okay, I won't.
No, do it.
I already know.
We're gonna give you double points for not only getting the answer right, but getting the question right. Do it.
Scooped it, yeah.
New Hall Family Theater for the Performing Arts.
There we go.
Exactly. You got
Nice.
it. All right. And then what was the name of the Maine before it became the Maine?
Jennifer. The
Jennifer?
rep.
Was it
I'll give
the?
it to you. Repertory East Playhouse.
That was
Okay.
the name prior
was
to
the
the
name.
rep.
Oh, prior to the prior. Look at her punking you. Okay, she said before it was the main. I
Okay.
thought it was the side.
All right. And then what is the year is the end date for the city's current art master plan?
Frogger.
Jen?
Frogger.
I'm going 2036.
Jennifer.
You are so close, but not quite.
Zoot.
The current one.
Anybody else?
The current one, Sarah,
Correct.
is this year, 2026.
Oh,
The next one?
yeah. I
The
think
next
I'm going
one?
to give that one to you
All
because
right,
I
the
think my
next-
research is wrong.
The next one. The next one is the 2035.
Yeah, tell her she's wrong. Tell her she's wrong, Sarah.
But you would know.
Yeah,
Than
yeah.
me.
She
So,
better. Yeah.
all right. And then what's the name of the upcoming holiday show at the Maine?
Jennifer.
Jennifer?
Theater in a week. Holiday Hijinx.
I was going to say, I've got it
You
right here on
got
this
it.
other
You
tab.
got it. All right. So I'm going to go sticking with the holidays now. What song, often sung at Christmas time, was originally written by James Pierpont for Thanksgiving?
Oh. Oh.
Wow. Jen, I'll make a guess. Originally written for Thanksgiving. White Christmas. Is this a trick question?
That would be so
No,
awesome.
not quite. Doesn't have Christmas in the title.
All right.
Okay, Frogger.
Frogger?
How about Most Wonderful Time of the Year? That one.
That's a good guess, but that is not it. Andrew, Jennifer,
Nothing.
want to take a stab at it?
Nope, we got nothing.
I have nothing either.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
What do we got?
What was the song, Sarah? Did we lose Sarah?
Sarah.
Oh, no. Okay. Resetting the score. Hopefully we can get her back soon. Jen's kicking our butt, but I feel like that's on the back of Purely City trivia. She's killing us 6 to my 3 to Andrew's 1. Jen, you're still getting blanked.
That was my bad.
Oh, okay. Is Sarah back?
Yeah, she's back. I brought it down. I was trying to push too many buttons at once. Apologies.
She did hang up.
Jen
Jen
was-
She's back.
And she
She's back.
she's back.
Okay. Sarah, apparently
Sarah.
Jen was so upset at you, she hung up on you.
I decided that was enough. Yeah. We need more Christmas
Okay.
trivia. That was my
I
bad.
can hear you. What's happening?
Nope, you're good. We
All
got
right.
1 minute. We got room for one more, I think.
Okay, this one's a hard one. How many ghosts appear to Ebenezer
Frogger.
Scrooge in A Christmas Carol?
Frogger.
I didn't hear who that was.
That's me.
Frogger?
Yep.
Okay.
How many ghosts? Okay, you want me to say 3, but it's 4 because you forget to count Jacob Marley.
You're so clever.
There you go.
You got it. All right, and who wrote A Christmas Carol?
Frogger, that'd be Charles Dickens.
The guy.
You got it. You
The
got
guy.
it.
All right. Speaking of I got it, I've got to run. Sarah, thanks for saving our bacon this morning. We appreciate it. Thank you to all of our guests, Jeanne McMiff-Hendzelik, Matt Zuchowicz, Brianna Rosas, Jenny Shadle, producer Sarah, engineer Jen, engineer Andrew, and thank you for listening. Remember, friends, life is hard, but we're all here to help each other along. Be well, do good, have a great weekend, and join us next week and every Friday, 8 to 10 a.m. I'm Matt Watson, and this is SCVi and iLead School's Eye on the Valley on your hometown station, KHTS.